Toronto's Fashion Week. You will also see, well, they're right in front of me right now, each designer has brought with them their own photographer. This is how things work. I didn't know this. So the guy, like the people from New York, they fly up here and they bring with them their photographer from New York and their photographers from Toronto. These gentlemen are brought here by the designers for the purpose of photographing the models on the runway. So, we are asking those of you who cannot see because of the photographers to make alternate seating arrangements because they are doing their job. This is how it goes for fashion shows that are done like this on the runway in Toronto and New York. So if you cannot see right now, don't stay where you are. There are other seats along here. You can stand, you can move your chairs, you can sit off to the side, join an empty table, but don't just sit there and complain that you can't see because this is just how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Also, this is not, this is live. You can turn your chairs. They are not stuck like this gentleman right here. Sir, hello. Hi, what's your name? Oh, for heaven's sakes, look who it is. He's a lawyer. You can't trust him. Turn around. No, you turn and face, turn your chair, Wayne. Left. See, it moves. Ladies and gentlemen, it moves. You can turn your chairs around. You're a quick study, Wayne. And you always look great, by the way. You fit right in a fashion show, Wayne. Ladies and gentlemen, also, this evening, to let you know, all of the money that is being raised is going to the Canadian Mental Health Association. Yes. Locally, the Canadian Mental Health Association, the money that comes in stays in our community. And you likely have had a chance over the course of your evening thus far to have watched the back wall there and you've seen where the money is going and the programs that your donations and your bids will support. I'd also like to announce that right now we are live streaming on the internet, courtesy of Superior Media's On TV, that is onntv.ca. Now, I want to ask a question and you can be brutally honest, you won't hurt my feelings. How many of you did not know that we now have local television back in, I don't mean CTV, I mean local, not 2 minutes from Sudbury, I mean local television back in Sault Ste. Marie. How many of you knew that? I'm glad one person knew. So here's the deal. There's this great stuff now that they can do. I don't really understand all the technology involved in it, but there's things like it's called Twitch, or it's called like Amazon Fire TV, or it's called Roku. These are platforms on the internet where they can live stream programming just like you would if you were running a television station using satellite towers. And so, we now have local television back, and we do local news, local sports, local interviews, community programming. It's all available on your internet, cell phone, tablet, smart TVs, and you can also get one of those apps like I mentioned, Amazon Fire, blah, blah, blah. And so every morning, Monday through Friday, how many of you remember Luann Young? Luann, CTV, our news anchor in Sault Ste. Marie for so many years. And then she was with Scott and Luann in the mornings. Remember Luann? She's back on TV, and guess who her co-host is? Me! Monday through Friday, we are live, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We rebroadcast from 9:30 to 10:30, rebroadcast at 5 o'clock, and rebroadcast at 10 o'clock. And then it's uploaded to our view-on-demand library, so you can watch local television again in Sault Ste. Marie every day. Thank you, Superior Media, for live streaming this, and I'm happy to have a job. Now, but that's not the only reason why I'm here. Actually, I'm not here as a host for On TV. I was invited to MC the show by Jillian Patingolo and Natalia Carpo, Dr. Carpo and Jillian Patingolo, who it was their brainchild. And they invited me to be the master of ceremonies. Mental health and addiction, by the way, we're wrapping up National Addictions Awareness Week. I am an addict. I don't know how many of you know my story. I was addicted to crack cocaine for 5 years. I went through treatment at the Dawnwood Clinic in Toronto. I relapsed. I went back to treatment here in Sault Ste. Marie to the Addictions Treatment Center on East Street. And on Halloween night, I celebrated 14 years of not touching crack cocaine. If you don't know my history, my father was a lawyer and judge and member of Parliament for Sault Ste. Marie. My grandfather was the clothing manager at H.R. Lash. My other grandfather owned a jewelry store in Sault Ste. Marie, Lloyd Jenkins Jewelers. I grew up in a household, I'm the youngest of 5 children. I grew up in a household probably like most of you. I was loved. I had a great family life. I had a great home life. Addiction does not discriminate. Doesn't matter who you are or where you live. Addicts are not bad people. They are people who have a disease, and the disease can be treated, and they need our help and support. I would not be alive today if it were not for places like the Canadian Mental Health Association and the Canadian Addiction for Mental Health, the Canadian Association for Mental Health, all right? So, thank you for being here to support this. This is near and dear to my heart. So how did this all come to be? How did we end up here in this gorgeous, doesn't the room look amazing, the machine shop? Isn't it cool that here in Sault Ste. we have a venue like this? I feel like I'm in the Distillery District in Toronto. It's brilliant. How about a round of applause also for the staff that served you your meal and the kitchen staff and the chef who prepared your meal this evening. Thank you. So, how did this all happen? Well, I guess it all started with Jillian Patingolo and Natalia Carpo doing a movie together in Sault Ste. Marie, of all things. And they got talking, and Jillian found out about Natalia's background. Although Natalia is a doctor, and I'm going to bring her out in just a moment, she had a history as a professional runway model. And when Jillian found out about Natalia's background, they decided, okay, let's do something. Let's do something for Sault Ste. Marie. So to tell you all about that, I'm going to bring Natalia up first, or Jillian. Jillian's going to come out first. So, oh, you're going to come together. But there's only one microphone, so don't look at, honestly, you girls clean up great. Don't they look great? Jillian Patingolo, Natalia Carbo. I will hand the microphone to Jillian and let her explain, and Natalia explain how this came to happen, and what's going to happen here tonight, and what it's all about. Thank you so much. Take the mic.
Thank you so much, Tim. Thank you, guys. We're trying not to cry. So good evening, everyone. It is so wonderful to see you all here supporting such a worthy cause. I, of course, have to start with some thank yous. So firstly, thank you to all of you for being here tonight. Your presence validates our efforts and this event. It is your interest and enthusiasm which makes this event a success, so thank you so much. Give yourself a round of applause. Our sponsors deserve their share of our appreciation as well, because without their support, this event wouldn't be possible. Jennifer Kapur of Laser Advantage, whose generosity and excitement fueled the fire of this event. Sault Today, Yes FM, Oldies 93, and On TV for our amazing media sponsors. Hollywood Limousine for making sure that all of our participants got where they needed to be in comfort and style. Giovanni's Italian Restaurant for their generosity and warm hospitality. Flowers with Flair for their stunning floral artistry. SK Group and Compass Digital Graphics for their fantastic print services. The Delta Hotel housing all of our out-of-town guests so perfectly. The Machine Shop, Ashley, John, Chef Joel, and their staff for all their hard work throughout the planning and realization of this event. So give them a big round of applause. Thank you to our participants from out of town for volunteering their time to travel here and share their fashion passion with us. Without their eagerness to contribute, our event would never have gotten off the ground. An event such as this cannot run smoothly without an army of volunteers. Big thank you to the hairstylists, makeup artists, dressers, assistants, and let's not forget the amazing models for stepping up to this challenge and nailing it. I also wish to express my sincere appreciation to Annette Katamajaki and the CMHA staff for believing in this event, supporting us through the planning process. But last and not least, I have some quick personal thank yous. Dr. Carbo, Natalia, for loving this idea and fiercely supporting it. To my mom, for listening to me talk and talk and talk about the gala, and also for helping me to create this dress that I am wearing. I wouldn't be able to go home tonight happily without, of course, thanking my husband, Sean. Without his love and unwavering support through one of my ideas, I just couldn't have done it without him. With the formalities out of the way, thank you. Yes, thank you, Sean. I want to speak briefly about our cause, and I say briefly because mental health is not insignificant, and it is exactly the opposite, and you could spend hours and hours talking about all the areas of mental health and how important it is. It's a hugely important subject. I believe, though, that it's about time that we break the silence about mental health and that we talk about it much more often. If you had cancer or a heart problem, you wouldn't have a problem talking to anybody about it. I've overheard conversations where complete strangers stand somewhere like the mall and exchange stories about their health. But we are very afraid to do that about our mental health. So we have to break that down and really start being brave, being open to discussion, listening to our family and friends, and just helping everybody get through their situations. So that's my call to you guys tonight, to everybody watching. Be brave, talk, help. If you saw a person having a heart attack, you wouldn't for a moment hesitate to help them. So why would you hesitate to help anybody having a mental health issue? So get out there and let's spread awareness and get the conversation going. Thank you so much.
I just want to say thank you to Jill approaching me and to start this crazy idea. I know I have an accent and I tend to speak very fast because I have many ideas in my head running already ahead of me. But if I see you guys staring at me like deer in headlights, I know I'm going too fast. So, but it's better than reading my handwriting, that's for sure. Some of you know. I'm not gonna say all the names and people who sponsored us, but again, thank you. And everybody who is here, because without you, the show wouldn't be possible. And all the volunteers made your work. It's just, and people who are here actually took their time out of their life. Everybody took their time out of their life instead of going to work or spending time with their family, come and spend this money, and to mental health. And it's really, topic is big. You cannot cover it in short speeches. Lots of underseen and not spoke of. We don't have time to say hi to our family member, even though we live in one town, to say how they're doing. By the time it's too late and they take their own life. So at least a few minutes in the day, just say how everybody's doing, and make sure you tell your loved one you love them, so they know how they're loved and they don't want to take their own life out of their hands. And sometimes we brush off people because we say, oh, again, crazy ones, again, crazy ones. But if you actually take time and don't count minutes, but actually listen to the person, you can figure out that there's something underlying, and you can pick up disease that mental illness, it is disease that needs to be treated like anything else. So we just have to take extra time in our life and pay attention and just speak about it. And together, like we come to this event, so we can do against mental health. Okay? Thank you.
Look, we're getting a train back in Sault Ste. Marie. If you're trying to place Natalia Dr. Karpov's accent, she is Russian, and for a change, I can actually say that I'm proud to have colluded with a Russian on this fashion show. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage right now is a young lady that I read about her in Sioux this week. Great article about her. Her name is Willow Morton. Willow was born and raised in Sault Ste. Marie. She, at the age of 16, she sent in a submission for the Miss Canada Globe competition. and she entered the competition. She got in, and not only did she get in, she did so well that she was invited to go to El Salvador to participate in the Miss Teen Americas pageant. She did extremely well there as well. She placed 4th overall out of 16 countries. Willow Morton from Sault Ste. Marie. She won Miss Congeniality, and she won the title of Miss Teen North America. Ladies and gentlemen, Willow Morton. Wow. Are you 17 right now?
I just turned 18 actually 2 days ago.
Oh, happy birthday! 2 days ago she turned 18, right on. Willow, your fashion was not your first thing. Fashion and beauty pageants, and you're a jiu-jitsu martial artist, is that correct?
Yes, so basically I've always been an athlete my whole life, and I really wanted to try something new, and so of course I went in a pageant, and I really didn't expect to do well, but obviously things happen, and here I am now.
What was it like being in El Salvador? What was that like?
It was amazing. It was so beautiful, and it was amazing to meet all the other countries and really experience the culture.
You also said it was really a very supportive environment. I mean, some people might think that pageants are kind of, you know, catfighting and back talking, but no, you didn't find that at all, right?
No, I really didn't. A lot of people think pageants are really cutthroat, but I find the environment to be really supportive. The girls are usually really nice, and we all want to support each other because we all want to win. You actually, for your talent, when you did your jiu-jitsu, you actually recruited one of the other contestants to hold the stuff for you so you could demonstrate? Yeah, I did. I taught a girl how to hold the pads.
Yeah, I would have taken her out, but listen. That's just me. You want to say a few words about mental health and about why you're here?
Yeah.
You're also modeling in the show, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I'm going to turn the mic over. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time. This is Willow Morton, Miss Teen North America.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So first and foremost, I'd like to thank Natalia and Jillian for putting on this amazing event. It's such a good cause. It's going to be a great night for you guys. Personally, I've been so blessed to have such a good support system throughout all my adventures, and I'm so blessed to be healthy and to be able to seize opportunities. Although I've watched many people throughout my life, friends and family, struggle with their mental health. And I really believe that as a platform, it's a really significant platform, especially among young people today. It's something that really affects everyone, and it's something that most people can't see. It's not like a broken arm or a broken leg that you can be like, oh, I'm hurt. It's pretty obvious that I need help. It might not be obvious. You might not be able to see it. So support within the community and events like these that are help bringing awareness, openness, and breaking the stigma of mental health are great. It definitely helps because research needs to continue to create further advancements to help alleviate people's struggles, and this is definitely a great charitable organization that helps those people in need. Being at an event like this, supporting the cause is the first step to helping everyone around you, and everyone here can really make a difference, not even just within their family or within their friends. You can make a difference within your community, and I think everyone here tonight just needs to remember you can make a big difference, whether it being your friends, your family, and then in total you can impact your whole community. So just remember, you can really change someone's life. Thank you guys, have a great night.
Willow Morton, ladies and gentlemen, Sault Ste. Marie's own. I'd like to introduce now another guest who's come all the way to us from New York City. She is a hotelier by trade and came to pageantry from that. She is on the board of the New York State Hospitality and Tourism Association. She is on the board of the United Nations Association USA. She is a chair of the Sustainability Committee for the Hotel Association of New York City, and she is the reigning Miss Tourism International from New York City, Fantina Williams. Welcome to Sault Ste. Marie. You haven't been here before, have you?
No, I haven't. My first time.
Well, we'd like to all welcome you here, and I know that you have a few words you'd like to say. The microphone is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. Being here tonight for me is such a great honor, and I just would like to say a few words and the reasons why it is really a great honor for me personally. So, as we all know that mental illness affects 10 to 20% of the adult population, 70% of teenagers, 13% of children every year. People that are struggling with mental illness, they could be in your family, they could be your next door neighbor, they could be your colleague at work, or they could be sitting in the same organization. However, we would never know. However, also, half of the people that are affected with mental illness, often they do not retrieve or take treatment, and often because of the stigma that is attached to mental health. Untreated mental health can contribute to higher medical expenses, poorer performance at school, work, fewer employment opportunities, and increased risk of suicide. These are some of the reasons why bringing awareness to this amazing purpose and critical cause is so important today, and to each and every one of us here tonight. So thank you for your contribution, and thank you for being here tonight. And what a better way to bring awareness than fashion, culture, diversity, and inclusiveness. I think this is such a great vision that Natalia had, and she is so humble. I know Natalia doesn't want to be mentioned. However, we cannot ignore the amount of work that Natalia put into this event. And I would like to thank Natalia and express how proud I am of Natalia as a friend and also as an advocate myself, and congratulate her to a job well done that she has done tonight. So let's all give Natalia a big round of applause. Thank you. Bringing Natalia's vision to life tonight is not easy. From someone in the fashion industry myself, I have to tell you that it takes a lot of persistence and passion to put an event like this together and make it all possible. Giving young and aspiring models a chance and a stage to perform for a great cause and to engage the community and volunteers, bring everyone together, couldn't have been done without everyone along the way that helped. They volunteered their time, talent, and also we can't ignore the sponsors that made it happen. So thank you for having me, taking part of this great event. And the cause is certainly rewarding on many levels. A huge thanks to Natalia on focusing on the community and bringing each and every one of us here together tonight. Tonight, she brought designers from overseas, from all over Canada, artists, models, community, photographers, and not to mention, she dedicated her time and almost 9 months of work. So, let's give everyone a big round of applause, and I thank you for welcoming me to your Ste. Marie. Thank you.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about, make sure she's in the light. The outfit. You have had the pleasure of working with one of our designers here this evening, Richard Petit. Richard's not here tonight, but you met Richard through pageants, and he has designed all of your gowns thus far?
Yes, absolutely. So Richard, I met him through pageantry, and he volunteered to, he sponsored my first gown to compete. So going to competing, I totally did not expect the winning. That was a dream that I had. I am a hotelier by trade, and I figured I'm just going to try. So I tried out for Miss Tourism New York initially, and I won at the first time, and the winning dress was for Richard Petit, and we have to send him thank you. He designed my dress tonight, and he will be closing, and he designed also Natalia's dresses. So he is a great talent, and I have to mention he never takes measurements, And he just asked me, what color do I like? He just looked at me, and I was in a suit, professional suit, so I never for a moment thought that that was going to be it.
I can't even imagine that someone could just look at you and go, okay, and in 3 days, I think you said he looked at you and 3 days later you had a dress.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Never taken measurement. We did the first fitting, and here you go. And ever since he did my Miss Tourism USA dress, and that was a winning dress as well, and Miss Tourism International, and he designed my suit today.
And we're featuring him this evening on the runway. It's been a pleasure talking with you. Thank you for coming all the way to Sault Ste. Marie. And by the way, if you find her outside in a ditch without that crown, don't look at my trunk. I would never. Well, maybe. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to bring to the stage the Executive Director of the Canadian Mental Health Association in Sault Ste. Marie for the last 32 years. She started when she was 5, and she's looking lovely this evening. This is my friend, Annette Katachamaki, Executive Director from CMHA. Hi, Annette.
Hi, Tim.
Are you ready to talk? I know, it's what you do very well. Annette, the microphone is yours, and thank you very much for being here tonight and all you've done for the event.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so thankful to live in a place where everyone has access to health care. But what if you are turned away because you're told you're not sick enough to be treated? Or you're told that there's a 6-month waiting list for counseling? What we often take for granted when dealing with our physical health issues is not often the case when faced with a mental health or substance use issue. 1 in 5 people will be diagnosed with a mental health illness. That means in this room, there's 40 people that may be diagnosed or have been diagnosed with a mental illness. But we also know that many people live with mental health illnesses that have not been diagnosed, missed because our focus is still mainly on physical health or issues of access to service or the ongoing issue of stigma. Look around the room again, because the other 4 out of 5 people, or 160 of you, are also in the mix. You're a friend, a relative, a colleague to somebody with a mental health issue. Your support tonight and going forward helps us to continue to provide a better system of care that helps people at every stage of mental wellness. Monies from tonight's event will directly support 2 programs currently offered at CMHA. Living Life to the Full, 12 hours that can change your life. This course helps people make a difference in their lives. Participants are taught how to deal with their feelings when fed up, worried, or hopeless. And they learn skills to help them tackle life's problems. The other program is our walk-in counseling service, which is held every Tuesday between the hours of 11:30 and 7, with the last session beginning at 5:30. This service is delivered in partnership with other agencies, offers a free, single, confidential session for children, youth, adults, parents, couples, and families. More information on both of these programs and on our other services can be found on our information table. I want to thank the organizers as well, Jillian and Natalia, the sponsors of the event, for all of those who traveled from near and far to make it here tonight. But most importantly, thank you to each of you for not hiding behind the stigma of mental illness and addiction, for coming out and supporting the mental health and wellness of our community. Together, we make the vision of CMHA live. Mentally healthy people in a healthy society. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Annette, Executive Director of Canadian Mental Health Association. Are you ready to get the party started? Yes? Excellent. Let's get started with a big old dance kickoff. Okay, 15 years ago, Richard Kim came home to Sault Ste. Marie after having a very successful career as a dancer, danced with Michael Jackson and Reba McEntire, and the list goes on the Academy Awards, blah, blah, blah. Richard came home to Sault Ste. Marie and he started Studio Dance Arts. He's now expanded and has a school in Elliott Lake and in Marquette, Michigan. He is a success story, a Sault Ste. Marie boy who came back and shared his talents and his passions with us. And we are very happy to have with us this evening dancers from Studio Dance Arts to kick off this evening. They are going to be performing this song by, who is this by? Christina Aguilera, Glam, a perfect fit. Ladies and gentlemen, the dancers from SDA.
Fashion is a lifestyle, it's a choice, it's a freedom of expression. You have to live it, you have to love it, you have to breathe it. Life's all about love and glamour. Let's get glam.
As they come up. Our first designer, however, is all of our models this evening are local models. They've been working with our show director. I'll introduce her a little later on. Are you ready for the first runway walk? The first designer? Let's hear it. Are you ready? Oh, come on. I didn't see you clapping. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the brand is TFL Couture. The designer is Tristan, and here are the models and the fashions. TFL Couture.
Thank you.
And then those guys came out wearing their furs and their things and their chests and their jewelry, and the girls with the things and the hats, and you're going, this is not the Station Mall. Have you ever? You guys, I mean, I know you. We, people who've lived in this city for 40, 50, mark, 120 years. Have you ever seen anything like that on a runway in this city in your lives? But what do you say to that? Have you ever seen young people from Sault Ste. Marie walk on a runway with that kind of confidence? They call it resting bitch face. It's a model term. Let me try my, okay, blue steel we all know. But resting bitch face, let's all try it. Can't do it very well. I just look like I'm constipated. It's all about the class, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I'm here. So, what I don't understand yet is, and I haven't figured out the scoop on this yet, like if you like one of those outfits, how do you get one? Can he just make that for anybody? I gotta ask, Tristan's got, do you know how we get these clothes? I'm talking to you right now, Lisa Caricato. There's a website? There's a website. See, I didn't know any of this. I just came in late. So, because I like the one that, what's his name? Is it Daniel? The coat that Daniel, that was a Chinook, wasn't it? Was that Daniel Chinook? Was that Daniel Chinook? Was I right? People cheered for him. Was that Daniel? Oh, what? Hi, Tony! Hi! Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Nero! Are you retired now?
Not yet.
Tony is one of our firefighters here in Sault Ste. Marie. We went to high school together. I know it's hard to believe I look so much younger than Tony, but... Tony!
Separate schools together.
We went to separate schools together. See, Tony, you chose a career that it was dangerous but exciting. You gave back to the community. You got a freaking pension. Me, I'm broke. Anyway, Tony, but there's talent in your family, Tony.
I love you, Tim.
I was just fortunate enough to appear in the Musical Comedy Guild production of Mamma Mia, starring Tony Nero's daughter, Brianna Nero. Apparently I'm supposed to stall for like 7 minutes now. So let's pretend, okay, so if Joan Rivers were here.
Yeah, do it!
Do it, Joan. Because she was always on the red carpet going, who are you wearing? Who are you wearing? Who are you wearing? So I would like to be wearing Tristan. Who's Lantonio? That's the next one. I would like to wear some Tristan, would I look good in one of those fur outfit things? Shut up. No, you're right, you don't. She's like, no. What about the heels? Did you see the heels the girls are in? Like, almost as high as the boots I wore in Mamma Mia. Those were high, Tony, I know. What was I going to say? Oh, so there's a lady, I don't have her, I don't want to say her name wrong. No, there it is, I can say it. Clarice. Where are you, Clarice? Hi, Claire. Where is she? She's hiding. She's gone. She's changing. So there's this lady. Her name is Clarice Minas Malyamon. Clarice is up here. She flew all the way up. She's the show's director. You guys, you can't even believe what they've been doing with these young people. She's like making them walk on the runway, and she's like an Olympic trainer. She's got like white running shoes and little black socks. And she's got a dress, and she's like, no, more sway, more sway. And she's tough too, like it's really cool. She's cracking the whip. They're practicing in Natalia's basement, the Russian in the basement. Serious stuff we're talking about, man. Modeling is scary. But Joan, of course, Joan always talked about fashion, and she'd say things like, spend your money in the right places, right? I would rather see an old face get out of a new car. Okay, boom. So now, the money, of course, that we're raising here this evening is going to Canadian Mental Health Association, all staying local. I think the bids are closed on the silent auction. Because it's after 9, right? So I don't know when they're announcing the winners, but did anybody bid on the others? Did anybody outbid John on the leaf print? The gold leaf print? Did John get that one? Because I really want that one, and if he won it, I want to suck up to him. We don't know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play some music a little bit in the meantime until we have our next designer ready. They're getting changed. They're upstairs. The models, by the way. One of them, I'm not going to say her name, but when she was here rehearsing and stuff, the director of the show, Clarice, walked up to her and said, "How tall are you? How tall are you?" 5'11". "How much do you weigh?" 130 pounds. "Here's my card, call me, I want to sign you." See? Sault Marie, getting on the map with fashion. It is a great experience. It is a great experience, a lot of training. So anyway, listen, I'm gonna take a little break, go to the bar. Is the bar open? Cheers, right on. Bar's open. I don't know about the silent auction. Talk amongst yourselves. We'll have another designer for you in just a moment. Play some music, live streaming. I don't know what you're gonna do. People, go to the bathroom at home. We'll see you in a bit. Annette, are you going to come up and do the draw with me? was going to do this with them. You're a good sport. Where are you from?
Actually born in Costa Rica and raised in Brooklyn, New York.
In Brooklyn? How did you come into fashion design? What happened? What? Tell me your story, Lloyd.
Real quick, I started as a photographer, and I used to do all kind of editorials, Elle and Uptown magazines. Then I started my own magazine, my own fashion magazine.
Shut up!
Which is High Fashion, and I've been doing that. We're celebrating 11 years this year. And
you can clap for Lloyd for 11 years of having his own magazine.
And, you know, I love women. I love the garments that they, so I said, you know what? I love resort wear. And so let me try.
So are all of your lines resort wear, or do you do other things as well, Lloyd?
No, I'm just starting with the resort wear right now.
How much did you love the resort wear? Could you just see yourselves lounging around a pool? And your fabrics look like they're all very natural. Lots of was there linens and stuff there?
Linens, and there's silks, and there's a lot of good stuff in it.
See, I know nothing, but I was like linens and stuff. I kind of could tell the linens. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a bit of a fashionista myself, Lloyd. Hear them laugh at me? This is your first time in Sault Ste. Marie?
Yes, yes.
When did you fly in?
Friday.
Have we treated you well?
Very well.
Did you enjoy dinner? Hi, I speak for a living. Did you enjoy dinner at Giovanni?
Yes, I did. It was very good.
Are you here? Do you leave tomorrow?
No, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Lloyd, will you come back and visit us again?
Absolutely, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lloyd Crawford from New York City. Lloyd, thanks for your time. I really appreciate that. Right. Angelica is, see, I'm learning something about fashion as well. Angelica is the brand owner. And the design line is called Per la Mode. Hair, like pearl of the world, I think. Per la Mode. And, is that right? I don't know. And anyway, she features fashion in her line from Europe, Brazil, and Australia. So see how this works? You have your brand, you own a brand, and you can hire designers, or you can be the designer and have your own brand. So Angelica features designs from other people in her brand. And so here are the models for Angelica's brand, Per la Moda.
in your eyes, in your eyes. You cannot escape from me. The gods above and our destiny. You cannot escape from me. The gods above and our destiny.
Okay, all I'm going to say is there were some ribbons and bows on things that I would not mind finding under my Christmas tree on December the 25th. That was a lot of pretty, you got to admit. That was a lot of pretty. Boy, oh boy. We're going to have some more entertainment now from Studio Dance Arts. They are going to return to the stage to perform a number by Justin Timberlake. Ladies and gentlemen, just like me, the dancers from SDA are bringing sexy back. And it is Will Says Design, so he is the designer and the brand owner. And here are the models for Will Says Designs. so young. She's a baby. Okay. Those were wild. Like, I love those. Did you love those? Did you? Oh my God, how are you? You look, wow. Those, like, they had to cover stuff. Like, we're talking like J-Lo, right? What about the models? They looked incredible. Hi, Annette. Sorry, I just want to talk a little bit more about those designs. I mean, you know, when I was little, we had shears in our living room. You know, we lived in a great big old house, and we had like velvet curtains and shears, and I used to take those shears and pretend they were my outfits. I was this close to being Wilsis when I was like 8 years old in Wellington Street. I did, you know what I used to do too? I would take my towel, I could spend after a bath, I could spend easily a half hour in the bathroom making towel hair. I was like 5 years old. Tell me I wasn't born gay. Hello, people. And up until the 1970s, homosexuality was a mental illness. I'm not kidding you, in my lifetime, homosexuality was a mental illness, people. Don't do that to your children. Mental health, positive mental health. Don't tell me that transgender doesn't exist. Don't even tell me that. I'll take you outside. Oh, you know what's really nice? Eugene Dasty is actually going to play live for this last set. And not only that, no wait, you're not even ready yet. So yesterday at the dress rehearsal, the designer says to Eugene, I have an arrangement of Love Story that I'd like you to play. So Eugene's like, okay, remember Love Story? Oh, remember Ryan O'Neal and, what was her name? Ally McGraw. God, to be crying. Anyway, so they say, but Love Story. He's like, okay. And then they're like, oh, but it's a version by Shirley Bassey, and it goes into hip hop partway through. And Eugene's like, excuse me? Overnight, Eugene put together an arrangement for her specifications, and he will perform it for you during the final set. That's the kind of talent that man has over there. Anyway, runs in the family, all those gassies. So let's do some music up. We'll take a short break while the models get ready for our last set. Thanks for hanging in there. We'll be right back with some more, and the bar is still open. Oh, and don't forget, now I'll tell you. Eugene is going to play live, and we're featuring the brand of the designer Richard Petit. Richard is the one who can't be here this evening, but we heard about him earlier. And the brand line is Papillon Designs. Ladies and gentlemen, the musical stylings of Mr. Eugene Dasty. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage our models and thank the designer for that collection, Richard Petit, and the brand is Papillon Designs. And now, our grand finale, no, just the designer models. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the fashion show. See that lady right there? That's her. That is Clarice Minas Malyamo. She is the stage director for the fashion show. Clarice, congratulations. Are you going to come on stage? Yeah. So many people to thank, but mostly we have to thank Jillian Patigolo and Dr. Natalia Carbo for putting this all together, for coming up with the concept and the... Hi, there she is. This is Clarice. She's the one who taught all the models how to sway. Can you teach me how to sway?
Okay. Thank you so much. It's amazing. Coming from Toronto, we felt the warmth of the people here in SSM. Thank you so much. Thank you to Natalia. Thank you to Jillian. Thank you to the community. Thank you for the hospitality. Thank you.
Thank you, Clarice. If you are interested in purchasing any of the fashions you saw this evening, get a hold of Dr. Carbo, Natalia Carbo, or you have your programs with you. All you have to do is Google the name of the designer. You will find their website and you can get more information there. So take your programs home and go shopping. Behind me you can see Killer Hooks is taking to the stage. They are going to be our entertainment for the rest of this evening, but they're also going to be playing for us while all of our models return to the stage for one last walk on the runway. The VIP tables, I will escort you upstairs where you will meet the models and the designers. So I guess the best way to go is if all the VIP people after this is over, I'll meet you over the curtained area and I'll take you upstairs and you can meet all of the celebrities. So, how you doing, Killer Hooks? Are you guys ready to party? How long are you going to play for us tonight? Till like midnight? They're going to party all night with you, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks also to our stage managers. Over here, Sonia Portigan, thank you very much. And over here was Lisa Caracato. They were backstage. George Ravelich, Crank Sound. Thank you very much, George. Also a very community-minded person, George Ravelich. We can always count on you to help us out. He makes us all sound good and look good. And of course, the staff here at the machine shop. And finally, all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for your support of the community. Thank you for your generosity. We do hope you enjoyed this evening. We'd like to do it all again next year, so if you had a good time, we'll come back, we'll fine-tune some things, we'll get it all figured out, it'll run like clockwork. But thanks for hanging in there with us for our first year ever. It's been a pleasure. I am Tim Murphy. I'll turn it over now to Killer Hooks, and take it away.